the boxing scorecard, where I ask people to be your scorecard and an explanation, not just simply your opinion. I am your host, Cedric Ben. I've been a high-level amateur coach for almost 20 years now. I'm an assistant coach with Team Canada. I've had numerous Canadian champions, male and female, and my first pro boxer, Hunter Lee, will be making his pro debut in a couple of months. He's actually in Puerto Rico in Jake Paul's camp right now with his promoter. Not sparring with Jake Paul, but just getting ready with that camp for his fights. All right, so as I explain all the time, this fight right here, Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. This is the reason why I encourage people to score the matches. And not to say that your opinion is invalid if you didn't score it, because I know a lot of coaches and high-level boxers that watch fights and don't score them all the time. So obviously their opinions are still valid. But it's just hard to give an accurate analysis of a match, of a 12-round close match, if you didn't score round by round, right? Because your memory is just going to remember the last couple of rounds as opposed to what happened almost a half an hour ago in the first 2 rounds. So let's get right into it. My prediction for the winner was right, but my prediction on how the winner was going to win was wrong. So before the fight, I predicted Artur Beterbiev to win by knockout. He didn't win by knockout, but he still won. I apologize. Let me reverse something. I forgot to give their records because it's very important to understand. That's a very important part of the story. So Artur Beterbiev coming into this fight with a 100% knockout rating. This guy's fought 20 people and not one person has gone the distance with him. You can say what you want, but that, even the highest level boxer, that plays a role in what's going on through your head before you get into that match that day. Dmitry Bivol came in with a record of 23 wins with only 12 knockouts and 1 loss. 23 wins with only 12 knockouts. So that being said, facing someone that's a very hard puncher and you don't have that much knockouts yourself, just by looking at it on paper, you think Beterbiev would just run over him, but that definitely was not the case. So the official scorecards for the match was 114 to 114, which is a draw. Another judge scored it 115 to 113. And the third judge scored it 116 to 112 for Beterbiev. I personally scored it 116 to 112 for Bivol. Now here's the thing that I explain all the time, another reason why to score fights, because you got to mark down which rounds are close. Me personally, I marked 1, 2, 3. In this match, 1, 2, 3 rounds I marked as close. The second round, the 6th and 7th round, I marked as close rounds. Again, the definition of a close round is it means it could have went to either person. So you can't get mad if somebody else scored it for the other person. So let's go through each round and compare scorecards. So first round, I gave it to Bivol. Bivol, the way that Bivol boxed, I'll say this right now, I was gonna say this after, but the way that Bivol boxed, I predicted that he was gonna box that way, but I did not think he would be able to last 12 rounds boxing that way. Just because of Beterbiev. This guy has a 100% knockout rating against good boxers. Beterbiev, not only does he have a 100% knockout rating, but he's fought some good names. It's not like he just beat up a bunch of bums. He's fought some very good names, Beterbiev has. So, yeah, first round to Bivol. The second round, I marked it as a close round, but I thought Bivol's skills just slightly edged it out. Like, that's the other thing. Both guys, you could tell that both guys implemented their game plan. Both guys had a specific game plan, and they both were following it to a T. Bivol was not running, he was moving. There's a difference. What up, what up? What was your scorecard? Bivol was not running, he wasn't on his bicycle, he was moving, lateral movement. throwing a couple of punches and making sharp turns to get back to the center of the ring. He wasn't going from rope to rope. Beterbiev was doing a good job cutting off the ring. Anywhere that Bivol was trying to go, Beterbiev was doing a good job cutting off the ring. The difference was, even though Beterbiev was cutting off the ring good, I don't think he was able to capitalize on cutting off the ring. So I don't think he was able to capitalize on cutting off the ring. Third round. The third round I thought was clear for Bivol. I just thought his skills just made it clear. Round four. Round four was kind of a close round. I gave it to Bivol slightly again, but nothing significant happened in that match. Round five. Let me go through the scorecard first, then we'll get more details. Round five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round five was the first round that I gave to Beterbiev. I felt that he landed cleaner and he landed more. Nobody landed any punch that, there was no knockdowns in this fight or anything like that. Bivol did throw some hooks that made Beterbiev to go off balance. That was the most significant punches. That's why in the close rounds, some of the close rounds, I gave them to Bivol because of that. Because Beterbiev didn't do anything to make Bivol, change his game plan. Beterbiev never changed his game plan himself, but some of those hooks, the way that Bivol was mixing up the jab with the hook, was throwing Beterbiev off balance. Round six and seven, I marked as close rounds. I marked round six for Bivol. Let me make sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, round six for Bivol. Round seven, another close round for Bivol with combinations. Again, I'm giving you my explanation with how I'm scoring these rounds. In that seventh round, I honestly believe Bivol landed better combinations. Yeah, that was the main difference there. Round eight. Clear for Beterbiev. I thought it was clear for Beterbiev. He landed more. Round nine, the momentum went back the other way for Bivol. I thought it was a clear round for Bivol. Again, man, there's a reason why you got to score these rounds. But that round nine was clear for Bivol. Same for Bivol. The thing that was separating Bivol, what I thought was his footwork. Because again, he was playing keep away as far as possible. He was engaging, not just with one or two punches. He was throwing combinations, but as soon as he was done, he was out of there. When I talk to my boxers about the 2-second rule, you never want to stand in front of your opponent for more than 2 seconds. Now, obviously, you're not going to stand there and count 1, 2, but easiest way to remember is just whatever combination you're throwing, whatever hand you finished with last, turn to that side. Quick combo, finish with a left hook, turn to your left. Quick combo, finish with a straight cross, straight right cross, turn to your right. Just easy way to remember not to stand in front of your opponent after you throw your punches. Because the last thing you want to do with someone that has a 100% knockout rating is stand there and try to trade with them. So Bivol fought the perfect fight when you're fighting someone, at that level. Round 11 and 12, I gave to Beterbiev. Round 11, Beterbiev was throwing punches, but they weren't like throwing like knockout punches. The reason why I say that specifically, and for everyone saying that Beterbiev clearly won this round, clearly won the fight, going into that, it was either the 10th round or the 11th round, Mark Ramsey, Beterbiev's coach, great coach from Montreal, he specifically said to Beterbiev, you need a knockout to win the fight. This was his exact words. Okay, now let me tell you, coaches don't say that just to give you some motivation. If you're winning the fight and doing your thing, a coach is not going to tell you, hey, you're losing this fight, you need a knockout to win. Coaches don't say that just to motivate you. Coaches only say that because they're being honest with you because they think you're losing the fight. Okay, so again, for everyone that thinks that Beterbiev clearly won the fight and there's no controversy, Beterbiev's coach himself told him that he needed a knockout to win the fight going into it was either the 10th or 11th round. I think it was the 11th. So there you have it. Okay, his own coach said he needed a knockout to win because they knew that he was losing. And then round 12 also gave to Beterbiev. I think Bivol was taking a little bit of a risk there in those last 2 rounds, taking them off. I think it was him assuming that they already won the match. And then, so final score, 8 rounds for Bivol, 4 rounds for Beterbiev. Now here's, as far as right after the fight, as soon as that final bell rang, and this is something I always tell my boxers, don't get too excited until it is official that you won. Okay, because we've seen too many upsets a lot. The reason why I bring that up is because as soon as the 12th round bell rang to end the fight, Bivol in his corner, they were high-fiving each other and giving each other hugs and doing this and already celebrating. Beterbiev's corner, you can tell by the body language. Nobody was like high-fiving each other. Like they gave a fist pump and they knew they didn't give their best performance. They knew, Beterbiev's corner knew that it wasn't his best performance. And then they read the scorecards, and then everyone's emotions were switched up. So yes, so as far as the decision, man, shout out to Stephen Edwards, very good high-level boxing coach. He's Caleb Plant's coach and a few other high-level boxers. This was a quote from him. As far as people scoring fights, you have to score your own fight. You can't, this is what doesn't make sense. If someone says, let me read this. I'm just gonna read him quote for word because exactly what he said makes sense. Okay, let's be clear. One person can't score a fight unanimous decision or split decision. Your score is your score. A fight can be a robbery if a clear round goes the other way. Like if a guy's getting beat up, clearly getting hands put on him and not returning any fire, and then the judges still give it to the person that got beat up, then that is a clear robbery. But again, if it's going back and forth, well, let me finish the quote. Watch a fight with your eyes, not your ears. Try not to get influenced by the commentators, because sometimes the commentators have their own biases too. I know there's a lot of people that like to watch fights with no volume on, but I don't know. I tried doing that, just so you're not influenced by the commentators. But for me, I just like the atmosphere. I like hearing the crowd yelling. I like in between rounds. I like listening to the coaches, give advice to their fighters. Just taking it all in. So I like to listen with the volume on, just to take in the whole atmosphere part of it. But I can understand how people listen with the volume off. A few quotes from Bivol. I respect Bivol because he kept it humble. He didn't make up no excuses. A lot of times after a fight, a boxer will say, well, no excuses, but I had a lot going on. This was going on and this was going on. But no excuses, no excuses. And then they let off 10 other excuses. Bivol didn't say any excuses at all. He said, hey, I lost the fight. I did my game plan. I listened to my coaches and I did my best. It just obviously wasn't enough. I definitely could have threw more punches. But yeah, so, much respect to Bivol for being humble, even though I thought he won. And just to show you how hard Beterbiev punches, this guy, Bivol had a few marks on his face. Now, Beterbiev didn't land a lot of clean punches, but those marks on his face, Bivol said, they asked him if Beterbiev punches hard. He's like, yes, he hit hard. I keep my hands up for block, and he hit my gloves, and I still have mark on my face. Sorry, I know that was a bad accent, but basically he said, yes, of course he hits hard. I had my hands up like this. I was blocking his punches, and it still marked up my face. That's how hard the impact of his punches are. This guy he must hit like a truck. So yeah. So yeah, much respect to Bivol for being respectful there. What is next for both fighters? Shoot, well, Beterbiev. I mean, if Beterbiev wanted to, he can just he can just retire now and be good. He is 39 years old, so that's the only thing that there's nothing you can do about getting older. You can try to slow down the process, but the fact that each day, you're getting older, specifically as an athlete, you know, everyone talks about how strong Beterbiev is, how powerful he is. But the one thing that you lose in your mid to late 30s, specifically for athletes, is like the speed and reaction time. Sorry, reflexes and reaction time to be able to react to stuff. Like your brain could always process on what to do, but the physicality of actually performing it, those fast twitch muscles slow down when you get a little bit older. So if they already have talks about having a rematch. Hopefully rematch is not, too long away before Beterbiev gets old. Bivol is 33 or 34 years old, so not exactly young himself, but still young enough to have still get a few more good prime years left in him. So yeah. High level chess match this was. As far as going back to scoring the fight. Oh, sorry, I apologize. I was talking about what was next for each fighter. Beterbiev, he could retire right now if he wanted to and still be good, like I said. Bivol, before the fight, Canelo Alvarez, who lost to Bivol a couple of years ago, was saying that he would like to fall, if Bivol won, then he'd fight him in a rematch. He's never mentioned anything about fighting Beterbiev. There's not too many not too many boxers that want those Beterbiev problems. So it's going to be interesting to see where both guys go from here. Is Beterbiev going to retire, or is he going to have that rematch one more time and then retire? And what is Bivol going to do? So light heavyweight division looking interesting. Of course, David Benavidez is up there right now too in the mix. So it's going to be very interesting in the next couple of months to see what happens. This kind of messed up the Canelo sweepstakes for Bivol, because if Bivol would have won, he would have got another multi-million-dollar payday to fight Canelo in a rematch. That would have been very interesting. So we'll see what happens from here. For most people, just some final thoughts on this. There's some people that say that this wasn't exactly an exciting fight. What happens sometimes is boxing is a chess match. It's a chess match with severe physical consequences. Shout out to Joe Rogan. He said that one time, as far as fighting, whether it's boxing or is high level problem solving with severe consequences. So that high level problem solving movements. All right, man, there you have movements. All right, man, there you have it. Cedric Sports Peace.